CM Punk taking to Instagram, absolutely going all out on AEW, completely burying the company, and this is something where Tony Khan might actually have to answer to. These are some pretty big accusations. Our first story of the day, though, will be Impact Wrestling. Is Goldberg going to AEW? I keep seeing this question pop up. People are messaging me on Discord. I'm seeing comments on the community tab. I'm getting some DMs. And the reason why people are asking about Goldberg going to Impact Wrestling actually stems from a photo that is going around on social media that was posted by Jordynne Grace. Now, if you don't know who Jordynne Grace is, she is incredibly talented in Impact Wrestling. She's one of the top knockouts in that company, and just overall, a really, really incredible talent. Now, she posted a photo of her and Goldberg at the airport, and I see a lot of people are trying to hype this up to be something so much bigger than it actually is. In my opinion, this is literally just a situation where two wrestlers showing respect for each other, probably fans of each other's work, taking a photo and posting it on social media. Now, with that being said, I actually plan to go to Impact Sacrifice, so I should be at the event tomorrow. If you guys are going, let me know. Maybe we could do like a subscriber meetup or something like that. But as far as Goldberg being there, I don't want to say bank on it. Now, I do want to point out, though, Impact is rumored to get a new TV deal. There is a rumor that is going around that they are expecting to basically rehash the entire brand from the stage, the presentation, the intro, potentially even the logo. And if they're getting a new TV deal, I just imagine that Impact bringing in somebody like Goldberg would be very game-changing for the brand itself. Whether you like or hate Goldberg, it doesn't change the fact that he is a big name in wrestling. He is a very big free agent. That is the reason why Tony Khan is keeping his eyes out on that. But I just want to point out that this picture with him and Jordynne Grace probably isn't anything more than simply Goldberg and Jordynne Grace just taking a photo, and that's it. So we'll leave it at that. I do want to talk a little bit more about AEW, and in this case, actually, I want to turn our attention to AEW All Out. There is a very big change that is happening for AEW All Out. According to Fightful Select, it was reported today that AEW might be moving the arena that it's typically in to a much larger arena. This is actually being said by Fightful Select, where AEW is now in talks about moving the AEW All Out show from the Now Arena to the United Center, which I think is a fantastic idea. Honestly, I expect All Out to sell out. I think they're going to do a really good job of selling out the pay-per-view. But of course, the Now Arena, and I've been there, several times. I've gone to several All Outs, and I personally feel like All Out is such a great pay-per-view for AEW. I don't know if it's, and this is just my opinion, I don't know if it's like their WrestleMania, but I think it's their WrestleMania, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think it's like supposed to be AEW's WrestleMania. I think Double or Nothing has always kind of been the AEW WrestleMania thing. But in my opinion, I think All Out is their marquee pay-per-view. I think that's the big one. That's the best one. That's the one that every year typically delivers the best. But also, at the same time, too, with AEW making this change, there's a couple of reasons why it's a good thing. One, more ticket sales. Two, with more ticket sales means potentially even more sponsors, more things in that mix. From a business perspective, obviously more merchandise. And then, of course, with AEW, typically what ends up happening is when they do Rampage and Dynamite for a pay-per-view, they typically do it in the same venue as the pay-per-view. So that's one thing I like about AEW and WWE now doing is that, if you're doing a pay-per-view on a Saturday or Sunday, maybe SmackDown before the pay-per-view is in that same arena, or maybe Rampage is in that same arena and they go live. So to me, it's just an overall better business decision for AEW to go that route. But I do want to make it very clear, by AEW making this change, I only see positives. I don't think there is a negative in this case whatsoever. At the end of the day, this company continues to grow. With growing means bigger arenas. I do want to point out, though, it would be nice to see AEW do All Out in a stadium at some point. And I don't know if AEW is ready for a stadium show. I can't tell you guys if their business model is working to the point where they can fill up 60 to 70,000 seats in a stadium. I don't know if AEW can do that, but it would be cool to see them try. And if I was AEW, I would do it with the All Out pay-per-view. Actually, they'd only do 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year. So at that point, if you're AEW, you can try and do it for every pay-per-view. The one thing that's cool about AEW pay-per-views, it's kind of like WWE doing their Big Four. You typically see a lot of people traveling for those pay-per-views. So with AEW going into a larger arena this time, that means more people will also be traveling, which means more ticket sales all around. Just more interest. It's very helpful for the economy for the Chicago area. I look forward to seeing what happens here. I'm curious to see how they are going to go about this. But guys, we got to talk about the news. CM Punk taking to Instagram, burying the company. I'm going to show you guys his Instagram post in just a second. But before I show you guys this, This right here is very, very massive and something I did not expect to see. Now, if you remember CM Punk's issues with WWE and more specifically working with Ryback, then this will all make sense to you as to why this is a big deal. Instagram post from CM Punk. Guys, I'm not joking when I say this is such a big deal. So CM Punk posted, "Sigh, I wasn't clear to come back to wrestle yet. Then the plan was to wrestle at the pay-per-view. I sat and listened to Moxley's Rocky 3 idea. I explained how I'd never seen a Rocky movie and I thought the idea sucked, but if the boss wanted to do it, whatever. He said he wouldn't lose to me. I never experienced someone refusing to lose to me. I just laughed. I asked Tony if this is what he wanted. He said yes. He's the boss, so I said, okay, but I need to be cleared first. They kept saying it could just be a squash match, so I didn't need to be cleared. I scoffed at that. My health is more important. Dave Meltzer is a liar, Jericho is a liar, and a stooge. There were plans, but plans always change, but I'll never put a company above my health ever again." And these are the comments that are being made by CM Punk on Instagram. Now, for those who don't remember, this is a very crazy situation, but Jon Moxley defeated CM Punk on August 24th, 2022 at Dynamite from the Wolstein Center in Cleveland, Ohio. Moxley defeated the lineal champion via pinfall to determine the undisputed champion and had become a two-time AEW world champion. Moxley, that match ended after like 6 minutes, not even. Okay? Just keep that in mind. It was a very short match. In fact, you could go onto YouTube and see that AEW uploaded the match. The video itself is only 8 minutes long. Everybody watched that and thought, what the hell was going on? Now, the thing is, there's two issues with this. Jon Moxley refusing to lose to CM Punk is a very big issue, but at the end of the day, CM Punk was willing to do the job, right? The second thing, though, is being asked to wrestle despite not being medically cleared. I'm just trying to point this out. If you're a wrestler who's not medically cleared and you're being asked to work, that's a very big deal. And this is what CM Punk is talking about on Instagram. These are CM Punk's words on his Instagram post. Tony Khan or AEW has yet to respond to this. My personal opinion, and there's always two sides of the story, right? There's CM Punk's story, there's Tony Khan's story. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. The whole situation with Tony Khan doesn't strike me as a person who would put other wrestlers' health in risk. To be honest with you, just knowing how Tony Khan's handled AEW from the outside looking in, this just does not seem like the type of person that would put somebody's health at risk. And, you know, it's one of those things where I just think this is a crazy thing. We all know CM Punk's issue with WWE. We're at the point where we're starting to see this now boil over into AEW. This could have been an event. This could have been the thing that ultimately led to everybody just being incredibly pissed at each other backstage. I don't know. It's strange, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. When TK or somebody from AEW ever responds to this, I'll keep you guys updated.